Hey guys, Shalana here. Welcome to the Binge Zone. On today's video, we're going to be recapping season 2 of the Netflix original series Lost in Space. So without further ado, let's just dive into the recap. The season starts off with the Jupiter 2 being catapulted to a different solar system and Will's robot crashing into the Resolute while fighting SAR, aka Second Alien Robot. John decides to go through with Maureen's plan to leave the planet they've been living on for 7 months after there was a breach in the makeshift hothouse. After some protests, Maureen allows Dr. Smith to assist in sailing the Jupiter 2 through a reef during a monsoon. Dr. Smith implies that it was she whom sabotaged the hothouse in order to manipulate John into leaving the planet. Their voyage ends with the Jupiter 2 getting stuck at the edge of the waterfall overlooking a long metal trench. While preparing to recharge the Jupiter 2, Maureen and Penny get swept down by the current and are stuck on the surface of the trench. Don gets stung by toxic kelp, so he undergoes a blood transfusion where Dr. Smith blackmails him into helping her. John then lowers the chariot so Maureen and Penny can get inside before the electrical storm hits. As soon as Maureen and Penny get inside the chariot, the lightning hits, charging the Jupiter 2 and the Robinsons fly off planet. Maureen then locates the Resolute signature and they begin to follow it while Dr. Smith stores away some toxic kelp. The Robinsons then find and dock at the Resolute, but once inside they find that it has been abandoned. Dr. Smith triggers a lockdown on the Resolute, trapping the Robinsons inside while she assumes the real identity of the real Dr. Smith. Judy finds a girl named Samantha who has survived on the Resolute with a monster that everyone believes is SAR. The monster on the Resolute, however, is not SAR but another alien robot that John and Maureen trap before reuniting with their children. Mission leader Ben returns to the Resolute and tells John and Maureen that the alien robot they've trapped is named Scarecrow and has actually been on the Resolute the entire time. John and Maureen then learn that the meteor that hit the Earth several years ago was actually a spaceship piloted by Scarecrow and the Resolute was built around it. Dr. Smith then returns to get back her book with the toxic kelp in it, but Penny sells her out and she gets arrested. Will and Ben try to communicate with Scarecrow, but it fails as it tries to attack Will, but Ben stops it. With Raddick being poisoned by the toxic kelp, Dr. Smith gets away with her crimes because there is no one that can prove them. Back in the engine room, Scarecrow points Will in the right direction and Will sees a vision that tells him that his robot is on the planet below. John then gets stuck in a well that has an infection that eats away metal and becomes wounded when he falls down. Ben, Maureen, and Will descend to the planet to find Will's robot. Judy's vehicle then breaks down 15 miles from the well, so she breaks through the perimeter and runs the rest of the way in order to save her father. The infection has entered and started to spread on the Resolute. Don then figures out a different solution to save VJ, Penny, Dr. Smith, and Mr. Jackson, who are all trapped by the infection. Will's robot saves Ben, Will, and Maureen from being attacked by alien predators. Afterwards, inside a cave, Ben saves Will and Maureen from being attacked by Will's robot, who turns out to be SAR in disguise. And despite the fact that Don saved everyone from being sacrificed, he gets arrested because he confessed to being a smuggler. Will is then reunited with his true robot after he falls down a fissure. A flashback shows Ben's primary objective in coming down to the planet was to locate Will's robot so it can be forcibly taken back to the Resolute. John and Dr. Smith then work together to get information that reveals that there are multiple alien ships closing in on the Resolute. And at the last second, Ben doesn't go through with the plan to take Will's robot back forcefully before heading to the Resolute. And Dr. Smith learns that the colonists on the planet will be abandoned as soon as Will's robot gets the alien engine to work. Dr. Smith then tells the Robinsons and they plan to stage a mutiny in order to save the colonists. Maureen then hijacks the Resolute and then travels to a gas planet in order to obtain ammonium. Hastings then tells John to tell Maureen to stop or he will kill the crew members by opening the airlock. Dr. Smith fails to warn Maureen because she took a detour in order to avoid Samantha, who happens to be the daughter of the man she killed in order to assume the identity of Dr. Smith. Hastings carries out his threat, but it fails because Captain Kamal chooses to carry out the Robinsons' plans anyway. Then, after Will's robot saves its friend Scarecrow, it refuses to help get the Resolute to Alpha Centauri. Hastings then locks both John and Maureen out of the Resolute, stranding them on the gas giant planet. Penny, Judy, Will, and his robot plan to go down to the planet where the colonists are in order to save Scarecrow. Dr. Smith then betrays the Robinsons when she helps Hastings try to stop the children. The children play a shell game that gives Will enough time to reach the Jupiter 2, but Ben is one step ahead and stops him. Ben has a change of heart and helps Will escape with Scarecrow, leaving Will's robot behind. Ben ends up sacrificing himself in order to save Scarecrow, but instead he activates more alien robots. Maureen and John sneak back onto the Resolute and stop Hastings from using Will's robot to transport the Resolute to Alpha Centauri. With the help of the colonists who made it on the Resolute, the crew traps multiple alien robots who have also made it on the Resolute. Judy comes up with a plan that involves 97 kids flying to Alpha Centauri without their parents. Dr. Smith and Scarecrow sacrifice themselves so the kids can escape along with everyone else who boarded multiple Jupiters before the Resolute is destroyed. And the season ends with the children being transported to a different solar system in front of a spaceship that was thought to have vanished 20 years ago, commanded by Judy's biological father, Grant Kelly. And with that being said, guys, that's it for Lost in Space Season 2. Hopefully this helps you guys get ready for Season 3. And guys, if you liked the video, definitely give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and until next time, binge on.